Today on Ben's Menu, we are on the northwest tip of Tasmania, a little place called Stanley. And this area of Tasmania is really known for seafood and beef. And this is no better place to cook steak, I reckon. So pump this up, push that little plus.
I'll crank it.
And get it going as high as it will possibly go.
Righto.
And that's how you start with a good steak. You want a nice hot pan. How are we going there, mate? You just turned it off, Brooksy.
It wasn't working.
There we go. Up. So that's as high as we can get our induction. So we'll turn that up nice and high.
So we're going to crank it up.
Steak, oil. Always oil your steak, not your pan.
Okay. Because
that's going to be super hot. And something like oil can actually have a smoking point and go rancid. So you want to oil the steak. So as soon as the oil touches the pan, it's cooking the steak.
Yep. Now, Ben, we've done steak previously.
We have.
We did Brooksy Steak Sanger.
Yes.
Last series. Now, we did it the Heston way, where we turned it constantly, which was a little against my background of cooking barbecues and preparing steak. What are we going to do today?
We're going to do the old-fashioned time tested, which is 2 minutes one side, 2 minutes the other, rest for 2 minutes and eat.
Turn it once.
Yeah, turn it once. That's all you want to do.
My father will be happy.
Yeah, so the idea with Heston is we'll have a chat a little bit later about the big brontosaurus steaks, the ribeyes, the really thick ones. And that's the way of cooking with the Heston, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So as soon as you see that smoke coming out of our pan, that's what you want. You want a nice, hot, smoking pan. Oil side down, steak goes in, we want it to sizzle, which it did.
Okay.
So that's what we're after. So we're on the clock now, 2 minutes on one side.
2 minutes.
And then the side that's still exposed, we're going to season. Now, a little bit of salt, sprinkle that.
So we didn't season the other side because...
No, I just reckon the salt can, if you add it to fierce heat, can give the crust a little bit of an acrid sort of flavour.
Yep.
So I like to just season one side, I'll flip it, and then I'll season the other side.
Righto.
So you are a steak barbecue man, aren't you?
Well,
what's your favourite cut?
One of it. Look, Scotch Fillet, I love. I love if I'm at a restaurant and the brontosaurus ribeye on the bone, the big ½ kilo that I can smash through if I have to. And we might talk about how we cook that a little bit later on, because I'm intrigued as how they do it in a restaurant. But
So with each steak, there's a different cooking technique and a different way you should eat it. If you're someone who likes steaks cooked really well, so well done, medium well, the Scotch steak is the best one for you to go for. So it has this little marble of fat, which is sort of the calling card of a Scotch steak. And because you're cooking it for longer, that little marble of fat renders down and keeps it moist. So you can cook it to well done and it's still quite moist on the inside. Something like an eye fillet should be blue to medium rare. Something like a porterhouse is in between. So if you're someone who likes a steak cooked medium, you're a porterhouse. Well done, you're a Scotch. Rare, blue, you're an eye fillet, I reckon.
Righto.
So we'll have a look. Hopefully we're getting some good colour. Make sure you push your steak down. A lot of people put irons on top of them, so that it flattens the steak out and it keeps contact with all of the pan. I reckon we're close. So I reckon you're going to turn that in about 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Just check underneath and make sure we're not burning it. You're looking nice and brown.
I think we need to turn it.
Turn it now, mate. Aha. Now that we've turned it, this is called nappaing the steak.
Okay.
So see that char, I like that because we're going to put butter over the top of that and slowly mellow that out. Okay. So I'm going to throw some butter into our pan with a little bit more oil so our butter doesn't burn. We're going to throw some herbs in on top of that. So I'm going to put some sage, a lot of sage in there. I'm going to put some thyme in. I'm going to put some rosemary in, a couple of cloves of garlic, and now you are going to nappe it. So I want you to lean it towards you, get that butter, and pour the herbs and the butter back on top of the steak.
How my mum used to do my eggs.
Yep, and that's called nappaing. So we've got all this beautiful flavour, which we're putting back on top of the steak and keeping the steak moist. Oh, what do you reckon? I reckon that's pretty close.
2 minutes, mate.
Mate, that looks beautiful.
Righto.
Pop them onto that board there for me.
Okay, just as is.
As is, straight over. So now you're going to rest the steak. So resting is important. It's been in a really fierce pan. And because it's been in a really fierce pan, once you put the steak in, the moisture moves away from the pan where it's hot and into the middle of the steak. Okay. Turn it over, same thing. So you've got this line of moisture in the middle of the steak. If I cut that now, all that moisture bleeds out. If I let it rest, that moisture goes back into all of the steak, and then you get a nice juicy piece of steak all the way through.
So it makes it juicier if you rest it.
One little season of salt and some pepper. So now you add a little bit more salt onto that side that we cooked. Some pepper. Always pepper after, don't pepper before it goes into the pan, because pepper does burn. And I reckon if John, our cameraman, wants to shoot this steak, you better get in here now, John, and shoot it, because we're about to eat it.
We're about to smash it.